So several strategies could help Black people and communities gain greater political power as well. But just to put it more in context, one concrete example involves efforts to secure policies that address racial discrimination in areas such as housing or employment. Again, this is an example of political powerlessness and how the laws historically have not applied to Black people because of their relative political powerlessness in this case. So, historically, many Black communities have strongly supported measures to combat discriminatory practices. So, again, we have laws that govern housing, right? And those laws and employment, but they haven't always applied to Black people. Why? Because they have been interpreted, and they're like people are basically interpreting his laws based on the fact that these people, Black people, have no political power. Historically, many Black communities have strongly supported measures to combat discriminatory practices and to improve access to quality services. However, when such policies have broad support within these communities, they have been stalled, watered down, or completely ignored by legislative bodies. So legislative bodies within a state, within a city, within a county, those are your councilmen, your councilwomen, your state reps, your state senators, whatever they call them in your particular jurisdiction, your aldermen. They're like, we ain't going to do nothing for you because you don't impact the bottom line. You have no power. You can just go in the corner and shout, but at the end of the day, you're just gonna go back and watch LeBron James and stupid little TikTok videos, and we don't have to respect anything you do. You are politically powerless. You have nothing. Right. So according to, and this is how it applies to the Caroline's products, which was that court ruling mentioned earlier within the context of this paper, according to the rationale from Caroline's products, when a minority group's political preferences, like those calling for robust anti-discrimination laws, are not translated into enacted policy due to systemic disadvantages, this failure signals that the group is politically powerless. In such a case, heightened judicial scrutiny would be warranted to protect the rights of Black citizens. So again, the law will basically pass the legislative body, the federal, the state, the county, the city. At the end of the day, the Black people are unaware that this law has discrimination written into it. So you have to wait until somebody is actually impacted and sues the particular body, whether it be federal, state, county, city, town, municipality, what have you, take it to court. Now you have to take it to court. That can be 10 years after the law, and thousands of Black people have been wrongly done by this. So you have to go back and do this kind of class action thing. Many people probably have died, suffered, been maimed as a result of this discriminatory law that was put into place. For example, how many discriminatory laws were put into place during the Jim Crow era? Hundreds and thousands of, not even, if not millions of Black people died, maimed, put out, kept poor as a result of this, generation after generation. And finally, in 1954, which was 1955, the sounding alarm by the Brown versus Board of Education decision, brought about the initial shot of the changes that were brought to in America that resulted in the civil rights legislation of the 60s. But that in itself was not brought about as a result of Black people's political power. I would agree that the subsequent laws that were enacted in the mid-60s were actually brought into play because of Black people's protests and as a result of that. But that initial sounding bell of Brown versus Board of Education, as Brother Safiwe Baleka brought up, was only approved by the Supreme Court as a result of the fact that Emperor Haile Selassie was visiting the United States, and in order to erase the smell and the stench of oppression of black people in America, and to prevent the unity of black people with black people in America with black people throughout the world, they hurried and sent the letter to the Supreme Court, and that link is in the community tab of this page here. I think I put it out yesterday. Yesterday being Sunday the 16th, I want to say. That was only brought about not because of black people's pressure, but from some diplomatic intelligence standpoint that the United States didn't want to look too bad and prevent the unity. So if black people in America ever appealed to black people on the continent, the people from the continent will look at black people here and say, well, we saw that this Brown versus Board of Education ending school segregation was enacted. America ain't so bad, right? So that in itself was brought about as a result of that. But let's continue on here. So just to reiterate, again, the context to break this down a little further, and thank you. Shout out to Yvette Carnell, the whole ADOS movement, and Brother Antonio Moore. We have videos of Antonio Moore and Sister Yvette on the channel.